Hi, this is Randy Altman with Post Perspective. We're here at NAB 2014, and I've got Brian Drews from Zero VFX in Boston. And not only are you a visual effects studio working on some kind of big name projects, you're also developing some tools. But let's talk first about some of the projects that you've done.
Absolutely. So last year, we had a really great year on feature film side. We worked on American Hustle, Equalizer, which is a film with Denzel Washington, which is coming out in September of this year. That numbered almost actually right over 600 shots. So
that's a big
really decently sized film, yeah.
And what about American Hustle? How many shots on that?
I'm not sure how many the final count was, but we worked on upwards of 100 shots. We supervised set, made sure everything was getting shot correctly to the best of our ability, because it's not a visual effects film. Right. So we wanted to make sure that we supported the production and the director in his storytelling. So it was that we really wanted to make sure that we were there to mitigate any potential issues that might come up that might surprise anybody.
Was it more about, because it's a period piece, more about just getting rid of the modern stuff?
Yeah, it's just making sure that nothing, that they weren't shooting anything that they didn't really kind of understand the consequences for.
Gotcha. Okay.
And yeah, making sure that crew members, because David O. Russell has this style of shooting where he'll move the camera pretty fluidly, so sometimes not everybody can get out of the way of what the camera sees, so sometimes they need some help there as well. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
And talk about a little bit about the, if you can, about the Equalizer and what kind of effects you're providing for that.
Yeah, well, as opposed to the American Hustle, Equalizer definitely has a lot more visible visual effects, let's say. I don't think I can get too much into what exactly they were, but they did. There was a lot of explosions, and it's an action film, so you definitely know that there's work that we've done.
Yeah.
And we work very closely with production to plan out all. There's some big visual effects sequences that we felt really fortunate to have the great team that was helping us on the production side. And Sean Devereaux, who's the VFX supervisor and co-founder of Zero, did a phenomenal job working with the director and the studio and everybody just to get everybody together and get the show delivered, and everybody's very happy with it. And we're totally stoked to see it come out. We're very excited for September.
It's great to hear a shop in Boston is getting the opportunity to work on some big time films.
Absolutely, and certainly being in Boston, we're not in the epicenter, but really we do know how to take care of our clients. We do know how to execute visual effects in a very predictable manner. So we do feel like we bring something special to what it is we do.
What I also find interesting about you guys is, I guess during your workflows you come up with products that you use, tools that make your life easier.
Absolutely.
And one of those being Zinc, the cloud rendering platform.
Yeah.
And I know that it was used on Flight, right? Robert Zemeckis.
Yep.
So can you talk a little bit about how that evolved?
Absolutely. So that evolved out of Zero. We started in 2010, Zero VFX, and if you look back, that was literally the worst time you could ever imagine to start a visual effects company, especially in Boston, right? So we needed to make sure we were doing it in an agile, sort of fluid way, because we knew that we were starting off small, we didn't want to take on debt. So it was an important thing for us to say, okay, we know we're going to be successful, it's just going to take us a little bit of time. So what kind of system can allow us to work on complex projects, but also not have to carry that burden between those complex projects? So we knew we were going to have to grow into bigger space. We moved from 1,200 square feet to 7,500 square feet within 1 year.
Wow.
So we didn't want to have to move a data center because that's just this anchor around you. So we said, let's give cloud rendering a try, and that was something that back 4 years ago was something that was an uncommon thing. Nobody had written any solutions for that. So we designed our own workflow and pipeline that based upon cloud rendering. And so as that developed and evolved with our usage of it and some early customers, we definitely saw that it was a really healthy thing for our business. So we said this could be a really great thing for the industry because we do really think it's a model that needs to get used more often, because everybody knows what's going on, and you don't want to be in the position where you have to take jobs just to pay for your staff. You don't want to have to pay it forward. And so this really gives you the ability to scale as needed and really keep down those ingrained overhead costs. And it allows you to open a new facility if you need to fairly quickly. It's just it's a really great tool for us, and we wanted to bring it out and productize it. So we did that. and released last year as Zinc Render, and we've been growing the user base and the interaction that people are having to the point where we're seeing very sustained usage every day from 500 customers is who our subscribers are.
Wow.
Not all of them are using it all the time because that's the nature of it.
Right.
It goes up and down, but nonetheless, it's definitely proven its popularity, and now we're looking to scale that out. So we're pretty excited about this coming year.
Okay, and it doesn't stop at cloud rendering, so you have a plugin, an After Effects plugin?
Yeah, this is just a small little workflow tool that, we, as artists that are also technologists, we say, all right, like we see this thing, let's try to fix it, let's try to make a tool. So we ended up in the situation where we wish we could see, sorry, I'll back up. So much content is going out to the web that's where the user experiences the product you're seeing at HD. You're seeing it full resolution HD. But, geez, they're going to see it on an iPhone. They're going to see it after a few levels of compression. How do you monitor that from within your host application? There's nothing that does that. So that's what downstream software does. It's a little plugin right now for After Effects that is a very affordable workflow tool that you just pop it into your timeline and you're able to see it compresses the H.264 while you're within the host application, shows you on the screen, so then you can make interactive color changes and evaluate the degradation, things like gradients or blocking, color shifts, those sort of things, and you can mitigate those through smoothing out your gradient, adding film gradient, those kind of things, and you can do that really interactively. It's a tool that I'm surprised nobody's ever done before. I'm like, why is this not here? So we decided, hey, let's go ahead and make it and see how it goes. So we're releasing that here shortly. I have a website, and
it's pretty cool.
It's pretty exciting. Yeah.
So, I mean, when you think of a tool like Nuke that was created within a studio, that was a digital domain, right? And now look at it; it's out there in the industry. It's ubiquitous.
Yep.
It's amazing. So some of the best tools are created by guys who are just solving problems in their workflow.
Absolutely, and I think it's just one of those things you encounter it, you say, hey, can we do something about this? Let's think of something a little bit smarter, save everybody a little bit of time, and make the end product look that much better.
Very cool.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining
Randy.
us.
I appreciate it.
Really good to see you.
Cheers.
Cool.